And with that, I'd like to bring up Gary Vaynerchuk, master of the universe, Wine Library TV, 1 to 100 wines. Thank you, Gary. So one last thing, Sean and Missy have a very special thing for Gary. And with the first pick in the Affiliate Summit draft, Sean and Missy take Gary Vaynerchuk.
Awesome. Yes, thank you so much. I went in the 7th round. It was exciting.
Thank you. There you go.
Thanks, that's awesome. Can I wear this?
Sure.
Now? Thank you, Sean, that's awesome. Joe Klecko's number, I like that. Thank you so much, very kind. JK, thank you so much. You stole my favorite head coach. You're gonna like Eric Mangini, I promise. The Browns will be okay, though nobody wants to be the GM. Thank you so much for having me here today. I've been really excited about this keynote, maybe more than any other keynote that I'm giving this year, because fundamentally this room has the DNA of what most excites me. See, the fact of the matter is the people that live in this universe know something. They know how to make money, and that's extremely good. And that's a part, believe it or not, that a lot of people miss. A lot of people talk about content and talk about community and talk about crushing it and talk about killing it. I saw killing it was one of the bingo words, so I figured I'd put you guys in motion. And the problem is they don't know how to monetize, and this community does. And that is a very powerful situation, a huge aspect in creating a business, because it's funny, but the last time I checked, you can't pay the bills with Twitter friends. Last time. So it's imperative to understand how to monetize, and I think as a whole, when we think about this community, I think it knows how. Last year, I was here, and Jason Calacanis keynoted, and threw up pictures of people and made fun of them for taking pictures with checks next to themselves. I, on the other hand, started clapping because I was thrilled that people made $100,000 by finding a keyword that converted well. I respect that. I respect this whole sector so much. On the flip side, I think there's a lot of opportunity in this sector. See, the thing that I thought about when I first thought about doing this keynote was singles. I feel that there's way too many people in this sector looking to get a single when they have the talent to hit home runs. And I think that is a fundamental missed opportunity for a lot of people in this room and this entire space. And I'd like people to start swinging a little bit more for the fences. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so one thing I want to say is that I'm looking to do a lot of Q&A. How many people here know 37 Signals, Jason Fried? Raise your hand. Jason and I have been talking a lot about creating this tour and going on tour and doing just Q&A, because I think a lot of times you come up here and you talk about what you've done. Oh, I built a $50 million liquor store. Who gives a shit? I don't want to talk about what I did. People want to get answers about maybe things I see, things that I'm privy to because of the thousands of emails I get a day, trying to find a nugget, trying to find an opportunity to think about maybe what can happen. So I would really like to, I think a lot of times in a keynote, you talk in a lot of general terms. Of course you've got to kill it. You know what's really funny? This term, social media. Social media doesn't mean jack shit. I'm serious. Social media is business. There's way too many people walking around thinking they have a Twitter account and they're about to make $1 trillion. When the hell did a Twitter account or a Facebook fan page automatically guarantee you straight cash in the bizank? It didn't. Thank you with the amen. More of those. All right, so what Twitter is and Facebook and any other tool you use, Ustream, they're tools. They're a freaking fax machine. They're a sundial. They're a pencil. Seriously, we use them to communicate. We're always gonna be the same thing. We like each other. Believe it or not, for the few douchebags that don't like each other, the majority of us love each other and we want to communicate. And we do care when you take a dump or eat bananas. We like that. It's cool, it's real, it's authentic, and it's important. Now, everybody uses these tools differently. You know, I heard somebody take a jab at me saying I broadcast too much on my Twitter. that I don't @reply enough. Well, you know, the way I look at my tool, if I @reply everybody that hits me up, my stream is gonna be filled with @replies that may not be relevant. That person doesn't know, like the majority of you know, that I'll go back and follow you and direct message you and thank you and hit you up and talk to you on AIM and Ustream and all that jazz. There's something I want to really talk about. Content. No matter what you do, whether you blog, how many people here blog? Raise your hand. Just trying to get a sense of the audience. How many people here video blog? Raise your hand. Okay. I'll stay on this short because it didn't seem more than 50%. If you blog or video blog, way too many people are spending too much time on their actual content. Content is important, very important, because at the end of the day, if you have the skills to get 8 trillion people into a store but you don't know how to sell to them and you sell nothing, you accomplished nothing. However, there is not enough emphasis put on community and marketing. I always say content is king, but marketing is the queen, and the queen runs the household. Ladies? Where are the ladies? Usually there's like, yeah! No, yeah! Damn. There's always one of those. It's early in Vegas. Sean, next year, 2 p.m. for the keynote. I think that there's way too many people that, you know, focus on, you know, putting out great shit. Like, people always, I get 600 emails a week. Gary, what camera do you use for Wine Library TV? Are you fucking kidding me? Who cares? Some $2 camera I bought at Best Buy, a flip cam. It doesn't matter. Have you gone to YouTube and seen the videos that have the most views? They are not using professional Hollywood lighting. It comes down to the content you're pumping out. And you know what? The authenticity. There are so many people that I work with in the video sphere that start over. I'll do an interview and they're like, hey everybody, this is Tom Thompson from the 20-minute workout session, moneymakinggoldsession.net, and we're here with Gary Vaynerchuk. Oh, let's start over. What? Authentic. Be authentic. I have never, ever, ever taken a second shot or stopped Wine Library TV, ever. If the phone rings, phenomenal. It changes up the fact that I pump out 5 shows a week, 20 minutes long. It gives them, the fan base, something to laugh at. At least it's a little different. You want to be as authentic as possible. And if wine spills on you, or if the Jets lose, or make a big trade in the middle of your taping and you have to stop and walk off camera and find out what happened and come back, then that's what you need to do. You have to make it authentic. But here's the funny part. I spend 45 minutes to an hour max on content a day. Max. Sit down, tape Wine Library TV, bang it out. Maybe I'll do a GaryVaynerchuk.com, which is where a lot of you guys know me from. Bang that out. And then the rest of the time is spent on monetizing, biz dev, phone calls with, you know, jumping on people's blogs and doing interviews, and probably 8 to 9 hours a day of pure interaction within Facebook and Twitter and whatever it may be. If you are not searching, vanity searching as people call it, ego searching, if you are not searching your name on the blogosphere and on Twitter and any other platform that has users every single minute, you are a fundamental clown. Like boop, 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 that kind. It's a monumental mistake. Whether it's your name or your company, you've got to have a pulse for what people are saying about you and your company. You've got to. You have to know everything, pros and cons, and the cons need to be addressed immediately. Absolutely immediately. Listen, I'm not confused. There's people in the crowd who don't know who I am, who are listening to me right now and are saying, this guy is a dick. I get it. I know my DNA. I know how I come off. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm over the top. I know that when I start Wine Library TV with, hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library, that I lose 13% of my audience before they even get a chance to realize I know a shitload about wine. But the fact of the matter is I'm authentic to myself, and I know out of pure hustle, and just keep, people are marking off hustle on the bingo cards. You're welcome, I'm trying to remind you. You might win, huge prize. Number 73 Vaynerchuk Jets jersey. I think what's really neat is that, you know, you may be an introvert, you may be the polar opposite of me, you may be shy. You need to embrace that. Never, ever, ever fold from who you are. Ever. There is absolutely no reason. Because if your content is good, and you know what you're talking about, it doesn't matter if you whisper. Maybe you're not the greatest at marketing, but your content will be found. It's nice to find somebody who can maybe help you with that. And of course, there's a lot of people in this space and a lot of space that focus on Google and SEO, and that's imperative and it works. But back to the hitting singles, thank you. There's also a lot of people in this space that do things that may not look good on their legacy. One thing I always think about. Bingo! Nice. Already, huh? What are we giving him? I'll give you a $500 gift certificate to Wine Library. And a 73 Jets jersey. I'm wearing that every day. Congratulations. There's a lot of people here who don't do things that are gonna look good on their legacy, that do things that they are not proud of, that do things that they know are kind of shady, but it gets them clicks or referrals or makes them cash. I think that's where the divide really needs to come in the entire space. You've got to really ask yourself, where am I going? I really do believe that, especially this space, the majority of people do understand how to make $50,000 to $200,000 a year. I really do. I mean, there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of referral action. There's a lot of ways. But the question you want to ask yourself is, do you want to juggle 900 different sites that are selling cupcakes and travel and kangaroo hats? Or do you want to create a brand that you can really sink your teeth into and really monetize against? Because the funny part is that when you get on Conan or the Today Show or Front Page Wall Street Journal, that stuff feeds and you're able to really build. You're able to really build something. And I think there's way too many people. There's a lot, I mean, when I first got to really looking at the internet space, I lived on Digital Point and Digital, and Site Point and those forums. And I was thrilled to see pictures of Zach Johnson wearing a crown and Shoe Money and all his chicks that he likes to take pictures with and all that jazz. And that's cool and that's great. And there's a lot of money to be made in that. And I believe in that. And that's totally one way to skin a cat. There's way too many people that I think preach to this group. You're doing everything wrong. I get all that. I really do. I think what I'm passionate about is crushing it every day for making yourself happy. And I think when you talk about and you build a business around a passion, that's when you can really knock it out of the park. As a matter of fact, I think the far majority of the people in this room have the ability to build their brand while they fool around with the other stuff that maybe got them here or make some side cash, but should really sink their teeth into their fundamental passion. The thing that they want to do for the rest of their lives. If we went into the greatest depression of all time and nobody got paid ever again, what the fuck would you do? That's what you want to do. Because I promise you, if you do that and you spend as much time with your family, you've lived a solid life. Because guess what? We only get to play this game one time. Once. Can one person clap for that? Because I believed in that. I believed in that. Thank you. One person. I'll take the 30. That was good. One thing that I really like to do is make money. I think it's a good thing. And I think that a lot of people in this space are scared to do it. There's a lot, anytime you see anybody do anything that they look to monetize, people start freaking out, right? I mean, what if tomorrow I sent out a tweet about something and it said, in the tweet it said sponsored by Nike? Well, there'd be a lot of discussion, wouldn't there? A whole lot. The funny part is that there's a real interesting divide in the global social media Web 2.0 world, right? You've got the artists and you've got the entrepreneurs. And I'm completely blown away by why we can't be both. I don't understand why we can't be both. I don't understand why we're not allowed to make money. And you know what the funny part is? If people don't like the way you're going about making money, they don't have to buy it. They don't have to follow you, and they can call you all the bad names in the world. Let them knock themselves out. Because if you want to make money, then you should. And if you don't, God bless you, don't. Amen. Just do what you do. And I think if you really fundamentally execute against what you want, you're gonna win. Let me talk about something else. I'm really fascinated by transparency. I think it is a fundamental necessity, right? I mean, let's be honest. If you have a company, right, if you have a pizza shop right now, and you've got cockroaches in the back of your office, 8 years ago, you're pretty fine, for the most part. Now, one of your $8 employees is whipping out their camera and internet to the whole world. So if you got cockroaches in the back of your pizza shop, clean that shit up. You know what I mean, right? In a global scale. So absolutely, positively clean that up, because anything you do that's wrong will be exposed. It's just a matter of time. It will come out. Don't even think about doing it. You will be caught. It will hurt your brand, and that's a fundamental bad move. But on the flip side, you can go the transparent way. My brother and AJ really came up with the idea, launched a website called Please Dress Me. It's a search engine for t-shirts. Luckily, it's called Please Dress Me. Brilliant, AJ. I want to do some stupid shit like T-search or something like that. Fought hard for Please Dress Me, because now we can sell hoodies and earrings. Mary Smith can buy new glasses on Please Dress Me. It's amazing. I mean, we could do a lot of cool things with it. We came out right from the get-go and said every single search result is an affiliate link. Everyone. If you hide that and you don't talk about it and people figure it out, you're a jerk off. If you say it up front, on the day you launch, you're on the front page of Lifehacker, Boing Boing, and TechCrunch. That's pretty interesting to me, and I think a really good lesson. Before I go into Q&A, and I really hope you guys ask a lot of Q&A, I know, what's the mic's over there, guys? In the middle? I know nobody's gonna wanna get up, so we're gonna have to walk around with a mic, but please do. $3 a piece if you walk up there. The biggest thing that I hope that people leave with today is something I learned a long time ago in the wine industry, and something that AJ and I have been able to execute in the Please Dress Me world, which is I was analyzing a lot of the sites that are successful in this space, and in every space for that matter. And I noticed that people are not creating multiple channels to monetize. See, I had to spend millions of dollars to buy property in New Jersey to make a bigger wine shop, to build displays and have more stacks of wine and give customers more ways to buy stuff from me. Millions. All you guys have to do is spend maybe $1,000 to redesign your blog and add a couple of blocks on the right side to make more money. See, way too many people in this room right now have a destination site, or 70, depending on who you are, that work on affiliates but stopped there. You know, the funny part is, AJ, wouldn't you say 50-50? The revenue of Please Dress Me. Probably 50-50, right? 50-50 is affiliates, because that was what was meant to be, but the other 50 is sponsorship of Shirt of the Day, selling the front boxes on the homepage, and we've got a random thing that we haven't monetized. I'm a total jerk off on GaryVaynerchuk.com for not doing it yet. I'm a hypocrite right now as I'm talking to you, but I wanted to make a video before I did it, that's why I didn't do it yet. You need to create more angles, more opportunities for you to make money. The easiest way to make money in 2009 is to go and grab it. Pick up the phone and call somebody and sell them some sponsorship. See, the funny thing is, in this entire space and an entire world of marketing right now, we've got these big brands with lots of cash, and we all sit there and we scratch our heads. I personally throw up directly in my mouth about the fact that they spend millions of dollars on newspaper and radio and television and so little on web presence. And when they do spend it on web presence, you guys know, it's on some straight shit. Some banners on some bullshit site that used to mean something 30 years ago. The ROI is obnoxiously awful, terrible, and we're all frustrated, right? The funny part is, who gives a shit? They're all gonna go out of business, or the person that's making the decisions is gonna get fired. It's the agencies that in the middle that are really fucking us up. And the people on the VP level, they're set. They don't wanna show ROI, right? They don't wanna show that they did a campaign for $50,000 that got 9 clicks. They'd much rather buy an ad on television and Procter & Gamble comes to them and says, oh dude, I was watching the Phillies games and I saw a Razor commercial. You're fucking awesome, high five. You got 3 freaking people from that douchebag. But people don't want to see the ROI numbers, right? But that's gonna change because the 37-year-old lady executive that's gonna be the boss in 12 months, she knows. And the economy's tougher, right? The economy's tougher now, and guess what? ROI is gonna become much more important. So the newspaper industry, they're gonna get their face beat in. There's not gonna be a single, start buying newspapers because the amount of money you're gonna make on eBay selling that artifact is gonna be huge. And every single person should overheard that right now on Twitter. Let people see that shit. And the same goes for all the other traditional stuff. See, the funny thing is, everybody thinks this social media is some potion we all drank and we're all so fucking smart. You're wrong. All social media is the extension of business. All this is business. When eyeballs go to different places, that's where money goes. If we all started hanging out in a new clubhouse on a tree in Venus, guess what? You'd make a shitload of money monetizing against that spot. That's how businesses worked. That's what happens. Eyeballs matter. And the funny part now is eyeballs are so spread, right? There used to be, I always call it my Conan O'Brien theory, right? If 20 years ago I was on Johnny Carson instead of Conan, I'd be bigger. And if 50 years ago I was on Sullivan instead of Carson or Conan, well, I would be a damn cult leader. It would be tremendous. I'd be huge. It would be phenomenal. And so the fact of the matter is that eyeballs are now spread more than ever. There used to be 13 channels, then cable came. They all said they were douchebags. They weren't, they won. Now the internet came, everybody said they were douchebags. They're wrong, they won. Now there's a new layer of social websites. Everybody said they're douchebags. No, they're wrong, they won. The fact of the matter is you could see what's happening now. You don't need an executive to tell you what's happening. Go look at a 13-year-old and pay attention to how they interact. They're not going to read the New York Times. They're not. And they're not watching the nightly news with Katie Couric. Fuck. Sorry. I just don't understand. It just makes no sense. Things are changing. There's huge opportunity. And please, and there's a lot of you in this room, I know a lot of you, please just do me one favor, just one. Way too many people are frustrated and you guys are trying to rah-rah, cheerlead style, people to understand our space, right? No, you don't understand. Twitter is good, I'll show you. It's not about eating bananas, there's business to be done. Everybody's always trying to convince mainstream its value. Guys, don't tell them. The longer we know and the longer they don't know, the more straight Benjamins are gonna be put in your back pocket. I don't want them to know anything. I'm disgusted that they know. I get pissed when I see CNN, Rick Sanchez say, Twitter, fuck. That's what I say. Rick, give me one more year, Rick. One more. As a matter of fact, this bad economy is the greatest thing that happened to us hustlers and people in the trenches. It's the best thing. Because Johnny Jerkoff at Gillette is saying, what's this $100,000 social media shit? Cut that. That's what's happening. That's good. Now for some of us, that's bad. I get it, you're an agency, you want to collect, but I'm telling you, there's pretty much a shitload of cash still out there. This is not the Great Depression, people. Please, please. It is not even close. The fact that we're here, they didn't do this in the 30s. Trust you. I mean, please. Did you see how much food is still being left around in the halls of this hotel? That shit was snatched up in the 30s. Fuck. Depression. All right, I want to go into Q&A soon because that's really what gets me going because I want to get into details because I can do all this rah-rah stuff all day, but the fact of the matter is details is what really builds business. But please understand, if your business is reliant on another website, you're broken. If your business model is built on Google, you're broken. I promise you. Build brand equity. When you build brand equity in America, but whoa, everybody can win? Fuck, it's gonna cost me like 40 G's. Didn't one person already win? Sean, what kind of freaking thing are you running here? When you build brand equity in America, it's unbelievable. You can almost never lose it. I mean, when's the last time Microsoft did something right? They're still in business. And then I saw Davy Jones on a commercial. I know he got paid for that. Davy Jones hasn't done something important since 1971 on the Brady fucking Bunch. And he's still getting paid. So, when you build brand equity, you're always able to make money. Whether it's a product, whether it's around yourself, around your business, you're always able to monetize. But if you're relying on a search word scheme or a couple of sites, what happens when Google redoes shit? What happens when Google's not the play anymore? You know, Friendster was pretty damn hot. Everybody was pretty sold on Friendster. If you think Twitter is going to be the main play for the rest of your lives, You're an asshole. I got nothing else to say. Man, I promised I wasn't gonna curse. I've been all over the place. So much for New Year's resolution. It's gonna change, guys. The platforms are gonna change. What doesn't change is you caring about people. I promise you, if you care about people, if you care about your customers, if you really care, not the lip service that so many people say. If you care the way I care when I had to drive a case of white Zinfandel 3 hours in the snow to Westchester because FedEx screwed it up, when you care like that, you win. You win. And that's what you need to build. You need to build a business that matters and cares. Look at Peter Shankman, right? He created Haro, Help a Reporter. I know he spoke yesterday. Let's clap it up for him, right? That's free opportunity for everybody. That changed the game. If you don't think somebody right now, I'm kind of working on it. If you don't think somebody right now is working on a site that's gonna connect you directly to Tide and to Crest, they are. The same way that any of us now can be on 60 Minutes if we answer a Haro. The game's changing. See, what's happened is the gatekeepers have been eliminated. There's no editor of a magazine anymore that could say, your writing sucks. That person has no power anymore. You put out your writing and the world decides if your writing sucks. When CAA, which is the largest talent agency in Hollywood, signed me, one of the partners pulled me aside and said, I gotta tell you something. If you came in here and pitched us 2 years ago when you started Wine Library TV, that you're gonna sit in front of a camera and drink wine for 30 minutes, nonstop, act the way you act, and 80,000 people a day are gonna watch it, we would have kicked you directly out of the room. See, that's the beauty. I didn't have to go pitch it. I didn't have to go wait tables in LA and go around town kissing everybody and trying to get a shot. I just went direct to consumer. We all now go direct to consumer. It is a very powerful shift in media. It is the game changer. What's changed is direct to consumer and word of mouth. All that Twitter is word of mouth on steroids. Twitter is Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. That's what Twitter is for word of mouth. It's a fundamental shift. It is word of mouth on steroids because the biggest Yenta, the biggest socialite on the Upper West Side in Manhattan liked something you did. How many people could she tell? 100 if she was really working the scene. Now, people can retweet your stuff and thousands of people see what you're doing. It's word of mouth that's changed. That's important to understand. It's very powerful and it is a seismic shift in the way we do business. And I'm excited about it because the fact of the matter is this room specifically has a trait that is so imperative. A lot of you know how to make money. Now what you have to build is brand equity in something you're passionate about so that when you wake up in the morning, you feel like Rocky and you want to drink eggs and climb mountains. And I'm talking about the Russian Rocky. Remember when he was doing the wheelbarrow shit in Russia? Drago was doing steroids. That's the big companies. We're Rocky. Let's keep doing push-ups on rocks and eating snow. That's what we are. Hustle is what wins. And that's how I feel every morning. I want to eat snow and pick up people in a wheelbarrow in the mountains of Russia. And not because I was born there. I really want people to start lining up. If you have a question, please start lining up so I can get a feel of how many people are going to ask so I can time this. Again, $3 if you ask a question. Thank you, sir. I'll give you all quarters, just keep that in mind. By the way, Sean, no more Vegas keynotes. I actually got paid pretty well to speak today, but I lost money on this trip so far, so no more of that. No more 4-card poker anymore, AJ. That's a scoop. I mean, you're gonna get the same shit from me. What I believe in is family first. You gotta love your family. You gotta position yourself to run a business that allows you to spend as much time with your family as possible. I'm running around and traveling quite a bit. It makes it difficult. But when you love what you do, you never lose. And that is what I'm most passionate about. If you love managing 900 websites and everything is off link bait and this and that and this, God bless you. Knock yourself out, be thrilled. But if you've got any inkling, 0.25% that you're not happy doing that, there's other ways to do it. And the biggest thing that scares me every day is not achieving what I think I can achieve. I want to buy the New York Jets. That's what I want. So I need to make billions of dollars. Fuck, But that's what I aim for. That's why I try to build brand equity. That's why I want to be on Oprah and all that stuff. That's what I have to achieve towards. That's how I feel like I have to make it. But if you want to smoke weed in Jamaica and fish all day, then guess what? Keep buying. You like that, huh? Sticker giant, baby. You know what, Mr. Fisher? Then you know what? Then I'll buy a couple more stickers and you're well on your way, my man. Go smoke and catch fish. That's the thing though, I think way too many people have no idea where they're going. If you leave with anything today, anything, promise me you leave with this. Where the hell am I going? What do I want? Because I promise you, when you mark that in your mind, you are 90% of the way there. Q&A.
Hey, Gary.
Hey.
Jay Berkowitz, 10 Golden Rules. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you, Jay.
You've done a great job with personal brand, but you've got some different brands. You've got Wine Library TV.
Right.
You're GaryVee on Twitter. You're GaryVaynerchuk.com. So talk about the tactical stuff, like how have you built the brand up, given the different personas?
Well, that's the funny thing, because I do roll in some really interesting circles of brand equity, a lot of Fortune 500 companies and a lot of different Hollywood types and this and stuff, and they all think I'm an idiot. They think I'm building too many different brands, right? They're like, you've got to, you know, the old saying, right? Be the wine guy. That's all they want me to do, be the wine guy. Why are you doing this whole speaking and marketing and business? Why? Because I love it. Because I love building brand. And so I think that in 2009, agents and these gatekeepers I were talking about, they're not in control. I think in 2009 and beyond, our brand should be our DNA. And so I am the wine guy. I know a crap load about wine, but I also know a lot about building brand. And I also want to be the Jets guy and the family guy and the connoisseur of whatchamacallit candy bars. You have to be who you are. And so I think that the tactics are very simple. There is no damn tactics. Just be who you are, talk about the shit you love, and different brands will establish themselves based on how interesting you are in the platforms and the subsections and the niches that you're passionate about. Why can't you be the Nirvana expert and the person that knows more about Hostess cupcakes in the world than anybody else? Why? That's my answer.
All right, Gary, my name is Peter Doe with Storyboard Life. I heard you said a little bit today, but also with, I saw on YouTube, you talk about the importance of legacy is important, more important than currency.
Legacy is greater than currency.
Yeah, and what kind of got me with that, even on my Twitter profile, is focus on doing those things that make your grandchildren proud. You talked about on there, you know, they're gonna see this because it's all being videotaped.
That totally freaks me out, by the way. That my great-great-grandchildren are gonna watch us and be like, Grandpa was on some crazy shit. Go ahead.
All right, well, I have two questions. The first one is when do you create boundaries for your life? You know, because you talked about just putting all your work into your brand, but where do you go and start separating and go, okay, now I need to focus on my family, because a couple of times I've seen on Twitter that, all right, I'm gonna hang out with my family, see you guys later.
You know, I think the first thing you need to do is understand your family, right? There's people in your family that need more time, need more FaceTime, might need more phone calls. One of the things that attracted me to my wife was that she was a very independent gal, you know, and that was important to me. I think if you're not married, you need to really look at yourself and who you are and find a partner that really complements that and allows you to do the things you're passionate about. Because when you're really passionate about something, you get in the zone, right? I mean, you're just there. I mean, AJ always calls me a robot because when we're hustling on a new launch or something, I don't eat, I don't drink. I mean, I don't eat or drink for 24, 36, I mean, it's crazy. It's just because I'm pumped. It's how I'm built. And I think the way you separate family and hustle, and you know, this is from somebody who spends 15 hours a day, 17 hours a day in the hustle part of my work, is knowing. For example, with Lizzie, we're taking more vacations because, you know, she'll whip my ass if we don't. I mean, no, but I mean, because that gives us quality time, no TV, no internet. I think you just vibe it, right? I mean, sometimes I'll see my mom's face and I can say, oh crap, I haven't been hanging with mom enough. Maybe we'll do lunch. Or it's just about knowing the players in your world and knowing what they want and never chinsing what they want. They leave you with the time that you're allowed to hustle. So that's how you have to work it. Now, if you have a family member who wants to eat up 13 hours a day, that's tough. I mean, that's just something you have to really work on. But I think it's about feeling and knowing your family, and I think that's what's most important.
All right, and last, are you going to be here for, because I'd like to talk about it a little bit more, for coffee. Are you going to be here for lunch at all?
Am I going to be here for what?
Lunch.
I have a flight at 2 o'clock. I'll be here for an hour after this talk, hang out here, and then I think I have to go.
All right, thank you very much.
Man. Thank you, man.
Hi, Gary. My name is Gail Goodwin.
It's always nice to clap, by the way. Good for you. Go ahead.
My name is Gail Goodwin. I'm with a website called Inspire Me Today. I'm
Hey,
here
Gail.
today to ask you a question in reference to our Global Hug Tour. And in case you don't know what that is, my husband and I leave May of this year on a single-engine prop plane. We're flying 31,000 miles around the world, stopping in 50 different cities and countries. In each of those places, gathering inspiration from various luminaries to bring back to feature on Inspire Me Today. Additionally, we're giving 2,000 hugs per location. To
Hugs?
Hugs, like hugs.
That's freaking
to
awesome.
literally wrap the world in 100,000 hugs.
Okay.
And additionally, we're sharing $1 million of abundance with nonprofit causes the whole way around the world. So with that, the little background.
I'll
my
hug
question-
everybody.
Thank you. My question to you is, how can we have an even greater global impact on this, get the word out in a bigger way, specifically because the more people that come to the website and buy hugs for $10, that $10 goes directly to the causes that we're supporting. We'd like to raise 10 million, not 1 million.
Remember when I talked about hitting singles instead of home runs?
Yes.
I would focus 4 to 7 hours a day on trying to get on Oprah, the Today Show. I would just go for the jugular. I think way too many people don't think they can, and that's a problem. I think this is great. This is phenomenal. I want to hug everybody. By the way, I'll stand here after this keynote and hug every single damn person in here.
Yes.
So, you know.
Thank you.
So I think that what you need to do is allocate. First of all, it's going to take a lot of work and time, right? Which I'm sure you're putting it into, because I can see the passion in your voice and it's a very ambitious goal. You need to allocate a lot of time to just pound. You figure out how you get to producers on major television shows. You reach all the top newspapers. And then, because I said all those platforms were dead, you start hitting up places like the websites that matter. Places like Lifehacker and Huffington Post and TechCrunch, whatever it takes, just go right down the damn line and pound those people into submission to talk about what you want to accomplish.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Gary. Thank you. Ken Pierce with golfgym.com.
Nice, Ken.
My wife is here, Vicky, with me. It's her birthday today. So.
Happy birthday.
We were invited here by ShareASale. We just started working with them on an affiliate program, and I didn't really have a grasp of this whole thing. I still don't. A lot of what you're saying is foreign language to us.
Sure.
We've got a website, and we sell at retail, and we've been on for a while, and we do okay. And we're trying to grow this, and we've seen so many different people in the affiliates, and the talk yesterday, and Andy Rodriguez was great. And I'm just wondering, what, as kind of a newbie in this, in being a merchant and looking for the best way to, once we get rolling, we start to pick up steam, and that's happened with everything we've done. But as a newbie in this whole thing, what would you say would be one of the next steps that we would take? ShareASale we're working with, they're really helping us in a great way. But what would be the next thing that you would advise?
You're a retailer?
Yeah, no, we're a manufacturer, and we sell online, and we sell at retail as well, our products.
Understood. You know, there's a lot of things you can do. I mean, first and foremost, it's all about building brand equity, right?
Right.
So your brand needs to mean something. I mean, you know, look at the t-shirts industry, or, you know, clothing. I know my brother AJ loves Bape the Bathing Apes, you know, Bape, you know, wear, right? And they charge hundreds of dollars for sneakers. I mean, once you establish brand equity, you can really start growing your profit margins. So the things that I would do if I was in the golf game is try to get endorsements of my product from the biggest people I possibly could. Whether, you know, you start at Tiger Woods, which you're not gonna pull off because he's pretty locked up, but you work backwards. And more importantly, if you're gonna start really working in this online space, I think what you do is the same thing. See, the funny thing is that you've already built a business, right?
Right,
I mean,
actually, yeah, I created the product 20 years ago, and most recently we're working with a coach from the PGA Tour. We've got a connection with that. So that part of it's starting to build on the brand side. So Golf Gym is a known name in the golf world right now. But as far as selling at this level, this digital marketing viral thing that's going on that everyone in here seems to know about, that's the end.
These crazy
what's the next
kids.
step? These crazy people. No, we're great. This is passion.
I'm
this
sure.
is terrific.
Everybody's hugging each other. How can you hate this?
Vicky will hug every. No.
I think the fact of the matter is that it's no, you know, the funny part is there's no separation between what's going on here and what's going on in the real world. It's just different platforms. The same things that made you successful. You went out and reached out for a PGA coach to build that brand equity, right? I mean, that was part of your process. Well, now you want to go out and reach out to people in the digital space that have equity, right? So if you can get people that have audience to say they like your product, because they really do, not some scammy crazy shit, then I think that fundamentally you start building momentum. As long as you give them a destination of where to monetize. If you have a place for people to buy this product, I mean, there's a lot of people here who will send traffic, create landing pages and all that, and that's fine. But I think what's even more important is building up relationships in as many places as possible with as many people as possible. See, the funny thing is, there's a scary four-letter word that a lot of people are just completely petrified of, and that's called work. See, that's what you have to do. Here's what you have to do, my friend. You have to spend 7 to 10 hours a day online learning about everything that these crazy kids know about.
Okay, if we're trying to run a business at the other end of the retail and doing all that and doing seminars and getting out there and doing all that, then it's best to really hire someone to be able to do that 7 or 8 or 10 hours
Be careful, my friend, because you really want to know what the hell you're doing too.
Okay.
It never helps to have somebody that is not you know a hell of a lot more than you, because they can leave, right? And I just think that there's value in the proprietor to know what the hell is going on. Don't stay over here because it's what you're cozy with. Cut some slack out of here and bring it over here and start learning this shit. Because I promise you, this is where business is going to be done going forward.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hi, Gary. Stephanie Agresta, Internet Geek Girl.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
You and I get to hang out at a lot of conferences.
Because you're a Jersey girl.
Yes, I am. Woo-hoo.
How many people are here from Jersey? Raise your hand. Nice. I like the guy way in the back there. Yes.
How many people from Colorado?
0. Broncos suck. They even collapse worse than the Jets. All right.
So I've been lucky enough to be in this community for many years, and I also get to, hang in other internet marketing communities because there's little pockets of expertise and different shows.
And you're a hustling networker.
I'm a hustler. That's right. And I was just wondering if you could give some recommendations to this crowd as to what they could do and where they should go, where are other places you go this year? How do you cross-pollinate among different expertise within internet marketing?
You know, that's funny, Steph, because that's one of the things I believe in most. I didn't want to talk about it because I want to pump out a GaryVaynerchuk.com on this. It's called fishing in other ponds. The funny thing is, if you think about what I did, I was a wine retailer, right? And I saw opportunity in social media or Web 2.0 or whatever you want to call it. I just saw it as opportunity as there's business in this damn computer and I'm going to figure it out. I think that your message can cross-pollinate all the time. The funny thing is everybody gets together in these conferences that we all know each other, and we all basically will have an internal fight about the subject of the day, but we're all like, hey, you're on Twitter? I'm on Twitter. You know, the fact of the matter is, what's really funny about that is what you should be doing is going to the conferences where nobody knows what you know. So see here, all your knowledge is trumped or equaled by everybody else because we all kind of know the same things. The fact of the matter is, go to a Chamber of Commerce event in business, walk in there, and you're like fucking Yoda. Right? And if you don't overheard that on Twitter, I'm highly offended. I will be searching. I mean, but that's the case. I mean, that's the funny thing. There's way too many people that keep fishing in the same ponds. You keep going to Affiliate Summit West, Affiliate Summit East, Affiliate Summit Bahamas, Affiliate Summit Moscow. Go somewhere else. Because when you go somewhere else, there's a lot of business to be done. Because, sorry. I guess I'm never keynoting again. The fact of the matter is there's a lot of free places to go to. There's a lot of local business opportunities. I mean, you guys have, every single person in this room fundamentally has a massive advantage over a large majority of business people in the world right now. And a lot of people, it's true, and a lot of people are not using it. And that's why I get frustrated when people are creating things when they really have skill sets to make $1.47 a day. When I know, times 8 billion, I get it, and you make $1 trillion, and that's great. And I'm pumped for that, especially if you're pumped for that. But the problem is, way too many people that do that, when I speak to them, want other things. They want brand equity in other places. They want to be a regular contributor to X, Y, and Z. And the way you do that is by building more equity in yourself and your message and getting it focused and cutting off. I mean, even I'm stretched too thin and I'm pretty on message. So and I'm fooling around with way too many things. I think, Steph, the fact of the matter is there's so many places for people to do business, and there's so many creative things. Listen, you guys understand marketing and converting and making dollars. The problem is there's 8 trillion people walking around saying they're social media experts and they haven't made $1 in their life. I mean, it's a little bit of a problem. That being said, you guys have the ability to walk into other circles. I mean, go into your local, large, family-run business. We all live in places. When I was in Portland doing a book signing, I was blown away by Pal's bookstore, right? And I was just, big up to Pal's. And so I was blown away because I was like, wow, I mean, God, if I lived in Portland, I would go right to Pal's, get to the top brass and say, listen, hire me, I can really, really help you. So there's a lot of those kind of opportunities for people here where you can do that kind of consulting and stuff while you're still running your stuff, maybe learn from traditional business over here, because there's a lot of people here, the funny, sir, you come from a traditional manufacturing, there's a lot of people here who've never done traditional bricks and mortar business, and there's a lot to learn from that. There's a lot of interesting tactics in that world that can help you learn what to do here.
Hi Gary, my name is Martin from the Danish company Spainfighter.
How are you?
I'm very good, how are you?
Phenomenal.
Fantastic show, thank you for that. Well, I totally agree about working with all social medias like Facebook, Twitter and all that, and I do it myself. But well, you can see the problem is the more success you get in that area, the more people you have to be close with, the more people you have to interact with. And that's of course nice for business. But I know you have huge success in that area. How the hell do you, how much time do you spend on that? What do you do when you get 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 messages a day? Do you hire people to answer them, or you sit 24 hours a day? And when the hell do you do business, my man?
So it's all about what you think business is, right, my friend? I took a major step backwards in my wine business to devote more time to building brand equity online, building Wine Library TV and all that jazz. See, the funny thing is, there's another word that nobody across all business platforms likes and embraces, and that's called patience. There is nobody that has enough patience. Everybody's like, when's it gonna happen? Dude, you've been doing this for 3 months. I mean, are you kidding me? So the funny part is that patience is lacking from so many people. I pumped out an episode 20 minutes a day and jumped into wine forums and wine blogs and became part of the community, not, hey, check out my site. For 8 to 10 hours a day, for 18 months, while my $50 million a year business stopped growing because I was the real catalyst, or it slowed, for 18 months before anybody gave a crap about Wine Library TV. That's hard. That's patience. You have to persevere. And so really comes down to this, my friend. It's a balance game, right? Really, I want to tell you, it should be what you like to do. Do you know what I mean? If you want to hire people, fine. You have to understand that it depends on how your brand is positioned. It's going to be a little less authentic if it's interns. But the fact of the matter is, you have to balance it. And the problem is, a lot of people like yourself say the same thing. When do I do real business? The problem is people don't realize building brand equity by building relationships and interacting with people is the biggest damn real business anybody here can do. And so, if you have patience and the ability to wait and build that, I promise you, you can monetize that. You know what I mean?
I'm from Denmark, it's a small country. I'm one of the best known businessmen in Denmark, so I have a very large brand in a very small country. And I think I spend 10 hours a day answering emails and all that. So I'm saying, hey, I mean, you're doing the same thing as me, but in a market with 300 million people instead of 5 million. I mean, then you have to spend 300 hours a day, and that's quite impossible.
Are you happy?
I love it.
Then you're set. Next. It's true.
Hi, Gary.
Hey, man.
Scott Jangro, Jangro.com.
2 more questions?
Disappointed Patriots fan.
I'm so glad you didn't make the playoffs. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think there are a few people in this room are probably interested in your success as a transparent affiliate marketer with your Please Dress Me. Congratulations to you and your brother on that.
Thanks.
My question about that is, I remember the minute you guys launched that site.
Appreciate it.
TechCrunch, Lifehacker, and all that stuff. My question is, how has that carried on in your success? I mean, there was the flash that you had, the spike in traffic, all the attention, but not a lot of people are your customers on those platforms.
Right.
Could you share with us how that's kind of carried through, affected
Sure.
the bottom line, more long term?
Sure, it's the Conan O'Brien, Ellen Mad Money game, right? Because people go on my site and see that I was on Conan, they think to themselves that I'm not just some bullshit, right? It's brand association. And so when AJ and I reached out to Threadless and Busted Tees and Snorg and every single t-shirt blogger and all that stuff when we didn't sleep and we just crushed it and we were having fun, all those people took us more seriously because we were just on TechCrunch and Lifehacker and Boing Boing. And when I got to the CEO of Cafe Press and all those stuff, it happened quickly because of that. So it's like creating the hype to leverage the hype, right? And so that's how it worked. We used that blast of promotion to get us into the door to talk real business. And then by talking real business, we were able to build a business model and plan, and then we were able to just keep hustling, right? And people get impressed by stuff, right? I mean, think about any time anybody in our space gets mentioned in anything mainstream. It's exciting. We're all collectively happy. And I think for a lot of people, you know, Boing Boing and Lifehacker, those are big, I mean, those things sent massive juice, and then it gets regurgitated a lot, and it just opens up a lot of doors, and you leverage the hype to create business.
Thanks.
Sure. Last question.
Hey, Gary, I got the last question. It's John from Sticker Giant.
Hey, John.
You just asked us all to spread our wings, so why don't you take a moment and tell us exactly what this Thunder Cruise is?
I have a cruise in April, and we're gonna drink a shitload of wine and for 7 days, and I worked really hard on creating a cost-effective vacation before the economy collapsed, so it's become a pretty popular ticket, and I'm not really super comfortable kind of pumping. That's very nice of you, thank you, but it's a cruise. I'm on it. Come and check it out. I know I have to get off, but I just want to tell everybody here that I was really honored to speak at this conference. I have a strong affinity for this general space. I think there's so much more that could be done, but I know you hear that, and I don't want to be that guy that says, you could do, you know, I get that. But I think there is, and I think that if nothing else, I hope you leave here today with a thought of maybe where you want to position yourself, because once you position yourself to love what you're doing and monetizing against that, you know, we're awfully lucky. I'm really pumped that I wasn't a cat or a tree or a bottle of Coke. Being a human in 2009 is pretty awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Look at that. Gary, thank you very much. Great work, as usual.
Thank
Great
you.
work.